back in the building for the new Cuts and Style show. We in the new studio in the back of the barber shop. We be changing sets up a lot. My name is Cuts by Dre, and I'm in the building with my man.
T Style in the building. How we doing out there? Yes, we are in this comfortable lounge in the back of our barber shop.
Yes, sir. This is our new studio podcast area we set up. This is where we're gonna be broadcasting that now in the future. So if it don't look like we in the barber shop, y'all, hey, we in the barber shop. We just at the back of the shop. We back here chilling in our new studio podcast setup that we set up back in the back. So let's get the show started today.
Yeah, tell us how y'all like it. Do it look comfortable? You know what I'm saying? Do y'all got something like this in y'all shop for the employees?
Don't even try to rub it in, man. Don't try to
Yeah.
rub it in. Hey, so what we talking about today, man?
Hey,
What is we talking about
Today,
Style?
we gonna talk about the relationship between a shop owner and a shop employee. Furthermore, being me as a new barber, what I expect from the barber shop, and then we got the barber shop owner there. They're gonna tell me what he's gonna give me.
Okay, so we're going to pretty much go back and forth about what the owner should be providing and what the guest providing and what services, what
What tools?
resources.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
That's a good word. What resources you offered for new barber? Matter of fact, any barber that come to your shop, but more specifically, a first time barber booth renter,
okay,
so to speak. Yeah,
okay.
somebody just fresh out of barber school, or somebody just fresh in the building, and also somebody who's want to grow, somebody who don't think they know everything already, who's willing to grow.
Okay, so I mean, what do you expect from the shop owner? I mean, what's
I think the number one thing that I expect, and you should expect too, especially if you come into a new shop, is that you in a shop where somebody can offer you some training. And let me be very clear. We know when we talk about people that come out of barber school, I know some of y'all come out of barber school, y'all can cut, amazing, excellent, at the top of your game. That is not for everybody. So I think it we kind of wrong for a shop owner to expect a new barber that should come out and know and not making a mistake. First of all, everybody gonna make a mistake, but you should be able. I think a barbershop should be able to offer you suggestion and to help you along the way of your journey. For instance, okay, this is a scenario. If I'm cutting a client hair and the lining don't look right, and I ask you for help, as far as do this look right to you for your suggestion, why I'm cutting the hair, what would be your response?
well, if the client is in the chair and you ask me, how does this look, and is the hairline straight? Could I do something better or not? If the client is in the chair, of course, I'm going to try to be as cordial as I could, and I'm going to try to assist you as quickly as possible. But me personally, I think that that's a little unprofessional because when you in a professional shop, when you've graduated, when you went to the state board, you done took the state board, you done passed it, you done been in barber school for you know 12 months, 18 months. You done did all this training, and plus you probably cutting hair on the side or even cutting hair even before you went to barber school. I think once you get in a professional shop, you need to be comfortable enough with your skills to try to correct yourself because I think the client gonna feel uncomfortable if he's sitting in the chair and you talking about come over here, man. Is this right or not? He gonna assume like, am I in barber school? Is this a barber school or is this a professional shop? So I don't agree with that type of help personally. I'll assist, but I think that the customer should, after the cut is over with, maybe take some pictures of the cut, and then after the cut is over with, show it to the shop owner or other barbers and be like, okay, what do you think about this cut? Is there anything I could have did better, or do you see anything in here that I could have improved? That's
That's a good point. Only problem with that is if you don't get no help and that customer left out there with a crooked hairline that you thought was a good hairline, and after you look at the picture, realize that the hairline is crooked, how do you correct that? You just let the customer go out there with a crooked hairline.
well, I mean, like I said, if you've been to barber school and you've done all the things that you should have done before you get to a shop, you should do the best that you can without letting that customer feel like that they day in a barber school because you in a shop, you in a professional environment. That's like if I was in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? I'm a simplify it for you.
Okay,
Say
try to simplify
yeah.
this.
Say I done went to college. I'm gonna back it up. I done played high school ball. I done played college ball. Now I'm in the NBA. I'm at the top of my game. I get fouled at the game and I'm on the free throw line. And in the middle of the free throw, I stop and walk over to the coach and be like, Am I hitting the proper arch? Am I bending my knees correctly? Everybody gonna be looking at you like, what is you doing, man? If you don't get your tail back over there and shoot that free throw, man, you wasting time. You about to cause us to get a violation. I think that type of stuff should be done before you get to the professional level. And if you not as sharp as you can be, just like professionals, they miss free throws. They don't make them
True.
all. So you might miss that hairline. You might not get it right that time. But if you're a professional, you'll get it right the next time, or you get better. You keep improving yourself. So
How
that
would you get better though? That's the whole point of you not telling me what I did wrong in the beginning. How is it that I'm gonna get better? Now I understand this. If you did help me and it's not a professional and that client left because he felt like, okay, this is unprofessional, I'm not coming back. Would it be better to help that barber to get better so the next client that come in he can actually know what to do?
uh, I I think as in any profession, this is just my personal belief. If you are serious about your profession and you want to improve, you can't always depend on other people to help you improve your game. You can't. I mean, sometimes you're gonna be in a shop where you got people that's jealous. They don't want to see you get better,
That's true.
and you can't always rely on asking somebody else. It can even be the shop owner might not. Well, I I wouldn't think a shop owner wouldn't want you to get as good as you can, but I'm sure you can get in shops where other barbers might not want you to get better just out of jealousy alone. So take it outside of barbering. Once again, if you're a basketball player, I'm gonna take it back to basketball. If you're a ball player, you can't always expect for your teammate to help you out after practice. You got to get in the gym on your own. You got to practice on your own. We got YouTube. You got to go on YouTube. You got to see what I can do better. And you got to go back to the drawing board and you got to try to fix those things yourself. That's my personal opinion.
Goes good
Getting help is great, but not in front of the client.
You brought up a good point. Practice. When you own a team, you practice as a team. When you're in a barbershop, how do you practice? How do you get help? Because once you come into the shop, yo, it's game time. So how do you practice as a beginner? You just coming into the shop, you trying to get better. We talking about people who trying to get better because you probably got people who just in there just to cut, so they don't care how the hairline look. They think it look good. You don't think it look good. Now that's a good question too. What if the barber don't even care about the hairline, but you notice that after the customer left, the hairline was crooked? Would you talk to that barber about that?
Yeah, if I noticed it, yeah, of course. If I was the owner and I noticed a bad haircut going out the shop, yeah, I definitely would talk to the barber and see if we can correct that for the next time because you want the customer to come back, and the customer may not notice it's bad
Right.
at the time, but somebody else might tell them when they get home. The parents might tell them, the friends might tell them. So yeah, I definitely I agree with you there.
Right. Now, as a barbershop owner, ain't you trying to build the best team that you possibly can build with the best players? Because if we talking about basketball analogy, what are you? You the coach or you the owner?
I mean, that's both.
Okay, so
You
you
know,
both. So you got a true investment in this to make sure that this team is good. So how do you, as the owner and the coach, gonna make your team better?
well, I'm telling you how. I'm saying I agree with giving help. I just don't agree with doing it in front of the client
In front of them.
because
So
I think that's going to hurt your chances on retaining that client. Because if it was me, if I was sitting in the chair and you ask me, okay, how does look? Is this hairline straight or how does fade look? And I'm the client. The next time I come in the shop, if I come back, I'm gonna go to that person because apparently that person know how it's supposed to look.
That's true. I mean, that definitely a scenario. But like you said, the person can take pictures and show you in what he can do next time. Now, if we talking about basketball analogy, since you brought this up and we talked about practice, if you see this picture and you tell him, okay, this is what you can do next time or whatever, how do that person go about practicing that?
How do the barber go about?
Yes, how do we go about practicing this so he can get better? Now we all know that you probably can buy mannequins and everything. You can buy mannequins,
Well, you can't
but
really
the problem with
practice.
the mannequin is, first of all, they cost money, and this is as a barber, they not really that good to cut as far as fading and blending. So how is he just gonna go by a picture in your words without having a body in front of him where he can exactly see what he's doing and you can exactly show him what needs to be done and not? Granted, you did bring up a good point. You do learn all this stuff in barber school. You supposed to learn this stuff in barber school. If you went to a good barber school, if the person, if you wanted to learn it at that time. So it's a lot of variable of what happened, but we not talking about them. We ain't talking about all those. We talking about you in the shop right now and you want to get better.
Okay, I mean, just like I'm gonna go, I'm gonna use the basketball analogy, and I also use a doctor analogy. Once you come into the league, basketball that is, in the NBA, you're considered a rookie. Of course, your rookie year, you're not going to be as good as you are once you become a veteran. And so far, the longer you're in the league, the better you're going to get. Same with anything, just like barbering. I mean, the more you're in the shop cutting hair, the better you're going to get, regardless if you get help from anybody else. If you all about helping yourself, you're going to get better. Me personally, I never in my entire career went to anybody for help. Not out of a pride thing. I was just so into getting it right. If I got it wrong and I can see, because first of all, you got to be able to see. You're a barber. You're an artist. You're like a Picasso. You painting a picture on somebody's head. So you got to be able to envision that picture before you even start. So you got to know the finish line. You got to know what it's supposed to look like. And if you once you've got that vision in your head and you're working to get to that point, if you can't get there, that's not a problem. If you can't get there, as long as you know what you're looking for, practice will help you get there in the future. You keep practicing, you keep cutting, because even though you're in a professional environment, each time you cut a hair, you're practicing. I've been cutting for 30 years plus, in the shop for 30 years. I'm still a practitioner. I'm still practicing every day. I'm getting better. I'm getting better at something. I've even asked you some things about doing the sponge and doing the curls and the twists in people's hair. Had no knowledge of that whatsoever. Came to you. You showed me how to do that. I'm still learning. 30 years later, I'm still picking up new techniques, and I kept doing it. I kept doing it until I got better and better and better at it. Not perfect yet, but each time I do it, I get a little bit better. Just like a beginning barber. So, but I don't think that doing it in front of the customer is a good idea as far as the hair cutting is concerned.
Right.
Something else might be a little bit different, because I do remember when I was asking you about the twist, I did let you do it on the customer head, but I look at that just a little bit different, because I think that's like an extra incentive. The haircut is already done. The
Right.
haircut looks nice. I'm not good at the twist. I'm gonna make sure you get the best twist you can, and this is the guy that can do it. So I think that's different than you saying, "Okay, can you fix this hairline for me?"
Well, I don't see that big of a difference because it still want the customer to go out there looking his best. But let me not to switch gears too much. Is there ever, if there's ever a good time where that it would be acceptable for you to take the clippers to help the barber? Say that the
Oh, no,
barber.
no, no, no.
Wait, let me finish. Let me finish.
You ain't even gotta finish. I'm
Nah,
gonna let
let
you.
me
I'm gonna
no
let you.
no
I'm
let
gonna
me
let
let
you.
me finish this.
Go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead.
just giving you a scenario. I know
Go
you the
ahead.
owner. This you building your team.
Go ahead.
What if the barber let the person know, like, look, I just started. I want to get some input from the owner. I don't want you to come out here looking crazy and nothing like that. So I'm gonna have him help me out.
That's you talking to the customer.
That's me talking to the customer, telling the customer so they know that I'm a beginner barber or whatever. Because I don't just so he know that you finna offer that help. Now, with that said, if I'm a barber, I don't care. Me personally, I'm not caring about if I lose this particular client or well customer as a client because I'm trying to get better. So if I
Uh-huh.
lose one to gain two, that worked more in my favor. But that's as me talking as a barber. You as the owner probably had to look at something different.
Okay. I hear you. So I don't. I'm backing up a little bit because that didn't sound like what you was about to say. It sounded like you was about to say that you was about to give your clippers up to the owner and let him finish the cut or assist with the cut. Was that what you about to say? Or correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that was part of it. If well, I wasn't saying it off top. I'm just saying if need be. I'm not saying that you have to do that. I'm just saying you could have be like, basically, it's more of okay, take this line up a little bit more. You don't have to take the clipper for it, but I was has you right. I did start saying that before I finished. It wasn't more of you taking the clippers, more of okay, use your clipper to go up higher up here. Use your clipper to go
Okay.
higher there, not you physically taking them and you doing it
Okay.
yourself.
I thought you was about to saying physically take him because that's when I was trying to cut you off and say never give up your clippers. You
No,
know, that's my opinion.
right.
If you cutting hair and you need help, don't ever give up your clippers. You know, that's like you in a gunfight, and you about to pull your gun out and you give your gun to somebody else. You getting shot. You ain't gonna have time to get your gun back and pull the trigger. That's just my personal belief. Don't never get your tools up. You in the heat of the battle, and the only way you're gonna learn is if you get down in the nitty gritty and you grind it out on your own.
Right.
That's my personal opinion with that.
Okay. Hey, yo, if y'all like this conversation, let us know in the comment what y'all think about it. And with that said, hey, let's keep on going with it. So, after we did all that on this particular level as far as training, besides, we talked about the YouTube, having YouTube content, watching YouTube content creator. What else can a beginner barber do to get better and practice? Now, here's the caveat, meaning that what can he or she do when they don't have a lot of customers or something to practice on? Say in the shop, they don't get a lot of walk-ins. Say in their neighborhoods, when they go home, they don't got a lot of people they can cut the practice on. All they got are mannequins, or maybe mannequins or themselves, or the only practice they get is when they in the shop.
Well, I mean that's excuse me. That could be true to a certain extent, but I always fall back to the look. If I'm in this, man, for the long haul, this is what I love to do. I'm gonna find a way to get clients in my chair. If I
That's true.
if I got to give you a free cut to get you in my chair, I'm gonna give you a free cut to get you in your chair.
Right.
And in my opinion, and that's how I started out. I started out giving free haircuts for 2 whole weeks. I was in a city where I wasn't from, didn't know anybody. Knew of course I knew people, and I won't say I didn't know anybody. I knew people because I went to barber school here, but I didn't. I wasn't known from being here. I wasn't known in the community. So the only way for me to get clientele was to bait people in, give them a free haircut, even if you mess it up. And I won't say mess it up, but even if it's not perfect, if it's free, the client ain't going to be complaining. They're just not going to come back. You didn't lose nothing. They don't come back, and it was free. But if they come back, you gain a customer. And that free haircut, that first free haircut, actually wasn't free anymore. Because if you cut them again, if they came back, say you're charging $25 a haircut, and you cut them free for the first time, and they come back, that means you really didn't cut them free the first time. The first haircut was $12.50, and the second haircut was $12.50, and after that it's 25 and above. So there's nothing wrong with giving out free haircuts just to get people in your chair. I think that's the best way to get people in your chair. Making business cards that say free haircut, just straight out free, no gimmicks, no nothing. I give you a card. I see you in McDonald's. I see you in the supermarket. Here go my card. It says free haircut on the back. Come down and see me, and I cut your hair for free. Guarantee you, you give out 100 free haircut cards, 50 or more of them will be in there to get that free haircut. 50 or more will be in there. And out of that 50, you might retain 10 or 20 customers. So, I mean, I say it's no excuse not to get customers. That's what I did in the beginning to get customers. And no lie, I did free haircuts for 2 weeks. That sounds crazy. But I opened my
Yeah.
business up and I didn't have nothing to lose. Gave away free haircuts for 2 weeks. Put a big sign out in front of the shop that said, big old banner about 10 foot by 13 foot long. It said free haircuts. And so we was cutting like crazy, tired every day. And we made tips though. That's one thing about it. I do remember back then it wasn't 100% free because we made a lot of tips. You didn't go home empty handed. You probably went home with like $100, $50 in tips. But it jump started the business, and 30 years later, we're still in business. So I encourage that to anybody.
That's good, except that we gotta take this a little bit a step farther, and I don't want to get too deep in this conversation, but we gotta look at a couple variables with that. And the number one variable is if you cutting hair for free and you a booth renter, how the hell is you making money? How is you paying your booth rent? And if this your only job, how is you paying your bills? Now, I'm talking about the barber. I ain't talking about you as the owner, because you said you was doing this as the owner. I'm talking about a barber in a barber shop renting a booth. Now, how is he gonna be able to do it? He or she gonna be able to do that without losing money? Yes, he will gain knowledge. They will gain knowledge if they can get enough people. That's the cost. But the money wise, yo, not so good, because and that's only talking about you as a shop owner. I don't know too many shop owners gonna allow a barber to do that and still not be able to pay their booth rent. That ain't happening.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And after this commercial break, I'm going to try to answer that question, to the best of my ability. Welcome to New Styles Mobile Barber. Come on in.
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
All right.
Okay, I like this. It's on this tight. Oh yeah, this is a vibe for sure. You got the game on the TV.
Yeah, have a seat. We're going to get started right with you. All right. How you doing today, sir?
Pretty good about yourself.
All right. What kind of haircut would you like today?
Just a taper and a line up.
Okay.
I like what you got going on here, man. This looks real nice.
Appreciate that. Here you go, sir. How you like that?
Okay. This is nice. This shot right here. Definitely gets them things.
All right, y'all. We back from commercial break. That was our commercial. That was our mobile van. We got a mobile service we also provide for our customers. So check us out online. Look us up, New Styles Mobile Barber. This is Cuts and Styles, the podcast. And we was talking about, before we went to commercial break, he asked me a good question. I'm talking about all these free haircuts and cutting for free, this and that. And he posed the question that, okay, I'm on booth rent. How am I be able to afford to cut hair for free for a day or 2 weeks? And is the owner even going to let me cut hair for free? Because he charging booth rent. All right, well, my answer to that is, well, not all owners, everybody is the same. Everybody don't have the same goals and outlooks in life. It won't work in every situation. But if you get in the shop when you get an owner that's about making money, it's only going to benefit the owner if he allows you to work and do that and not charge any booth rent while you're doing that. Because if he wants to retain you, you got to do well. If you're not successful, if you're not making the money that you want to make, you're going to eventually leave the shop, and then he has to start over with somebody else. So it's in his best interest as an owner to help you as much as he can financially to get you on your feet. And in my opinion, you're not losing anything, because if you coming in as a new client, a new barber, you don't have any customers to start with. So yes, you have bills, but you don't have any customers anyway. So cutting hair for free for a couple weeks is not going to set you back that much opposed to how much it could benefit you. That's my point. When I did it, it wasn't about, yeah, the landlord wasn't about to give us no, sometimes when you do start out, they do give you breaks on your rent, but electricity's coming in, VEPCO, all of that stuff. They're not giving you no breaks, but you got to look at it like this, man. I'm going to sacrifice a week. I'm going to sacrifice 2 days, 3 days, or however many days you want to cut for free for the long run. And trust and believe. I mean, it works because especially in this economy right now, people are going to jump on something that's free. They're going to jump on that. And if you got confidence in your skills, that's one thing. I don't suggest you giving a bunch of free haircuts out until you're confident enough with your skills that you feel as though you're going to retain that customer. Because if you're giving away a free haircut and you don't feel as confident in your skills that you're going to retain that customer, then yes, you are simply giving away a free haircut. So, first of all, I think you got to get your skills set up before you start offering free services. Because the whole point on giving a free haircut is to get that customer to come back and be a client eventually. And I don't know if we talked about this before. My definition of a client and a customer. Customers come in the shop, they get in anybody's chair. They're in your chair one week, they're in somebody else's chair the next week, they're in another shop the week after that. But a client is your client. They're always going to come back to you no matter what. So your job is to bring customers in the shop and turn them into clients. Is is that it for today? Are we
Yo,
going? We
that
going
that
in the
was nah, that was a good topic. I mean, that was a good topic we covered. If y'all liked what you hear, like, subscribe, hit the notification. Also, we like to hear y'all thoughts. So give us some comments, some feedback in the comment section. Thank y'all for joining us tonight or today or whenever time you watch this.
Okay, and this is the Cuts and Style show, and we talking barbershop. We always talking barbershop. And we also got a segment called Shop Talk that we do every episode. So we're gonna go to another commercial break, and when we come back from that commercial break, we're gonna get into a quick shop talk before we close out the show. We want to thank y'all for